That's a fam. This is Derric RauKhu, and I'm still in the process of, transitioning, trying to take care of some business and all that kind of stuff. Like I told you before, some family business and stuff. But I wanted to kind of chime in on some things that was actually going on. Um, in case you haven't heard, um, we just had the Olympic hopeful Sha'Carri Richardson. Um, she just got, recently she was banned from the Olympics, and it's a pretty pretty sad deal, you know. Uh, Pretty sad thing that took place, mainly because, I used to run track when I was in high school, and was kind of a walk on when I went to school, but didn't finish it. So, but I still followed the sport, um, and I even knew athletes who actually, who actually ran professionally and or even competed to go to the Olympics. So, to try to get into the Olympics, to try to, to qualify for the Olympics, that is a real high honor. I mean, especially, if you're talking about, like I said, a track athlete, because for the most part, that's really the one competition that you actually live for. So you know, to have a qualifying time of 10.86 seconds in 100. I mean, we're talking about 100 meters or so. That's up under 11. She was smoking. Sha'Carri that's a real good time. Um, I think there was only maybe one other female athlete that had that time. I believe it was Gail. Okay, not really sure, but yeah, like I said, that's a good time. Um, but to do all that training, especially as a track and field athlete, I should say, to do all that training, and I mean, we're talking, years of training, and to do all that training to basically, uh, get all the way up to that level and have it all thrown away for what, 15, maybe 30 minutes. you know at the longest we're talking maybe what, a 45-minute hit, you know just for a weed. That's what's really sad about that whole situation. That all the people basically that was affected by that. All the people that was really affected by that. And I'm not gonna spend time, criticizing her, for what she did and all that. I mean, I'm just trying to basically explain the situation. You go through years and years of training, and then, you get all the way up there to the top, all only the fall back down backwards over something like this. I mean, you can pretty much imagine how this young lady felt. She for the most part is, let down her family, let down family, friends, the her coach who basically assisted her, uh, helped train her and everything. And from my understanding, I think he used to be one of the Olympic, he was a gold medalist as well, so you let him down, and, let down the school. I mean, everybody. You're basically going down in history as the possibly the fastest woman in the world at the time, but you're not able to qualify, or you're not able to actually run the race and prove it because of, because you smoke some weed, you know? So, like I said, I'm not going to spend any time really criticizing or, basically judging her or anything. Like I said, that's something I'm pretty much, we can all imagine that's how she feels, or imagine how she feels about all of that. But I thought it was it's a very interesting point, very interesting moment to actually try to learn from that situation. And it is that the reason why we keep hearing of horrific stories that occur like this, especially in our community, is because of people giving into their set. They're giving into their ego. Now, the thing that people have to understand, that's basically what happened. And when I look at things always from a spiritual perspective. I look at it from the physical perspective, but I look at it from a spiritual perspective as well. And the reason why she's not running, the reason why Sha'Carri's not running, is because she gave into her set. Okay, she gave into her ego. And the thing that we have to understand about set, the thing we have to understand about our ego, okay, we're not talking about, something in regards to pride. Okay, because when people hear ego, that's what they think. They think, oh, you're talking about, just having pride. That's a little bit of it, but that's not the whole thing. Your ego is the part of your being. It's the part of our being that is all about. It's all about basically trying to get, some survival. Okay, so it helps us to survive. But the one thing that you also have to understand about the ego is that it is all about seeking pleasure, regardless of whom it hurts, regardless of whom it harms. Okay, and that's the thing we have to understand about. We have to understand about set. That's the thing we have to understand about our ego. All right. Our ego is always about it's about seeking pleasure. Regardless of whom it harms, regardless of who is hurt, from it. It's all about trying to, hey, I'm about trying to get that pleasure. And a lot of times it deals with instant gratification. And this is one of those scenarios, one of those situations that took place in which, clearly, she did all this training and threw it all away for, like I said, for one hit. Okay? 15, 30-minute, experience. So, the lesson that we need to learn from this is, as I've stated before, your set will always make an ass out of you. Okay? And we have to keep that in mind. That is how our set is. And whenever we give into it, whenever we give into our set, this is what happens. Okay? Now, the only way to actually transcend your set, is to live according to Ma'at. Okay? Live according to Ma'at. All right? And I had someone ask me this question: how do you live according to Ma'at? And there really isn't. It's not that difficult. It's challenging when you're in the midst of it, but it's not really that difficult. It's simply doing what's right versus what is easy. That is the easiest way, the most simplest way to actually live according to Ma'at. Doing what's right versus what's easy. And the thing is, living Ma'at is not always going to be popular. I mean, everybody's not going to always agree with you or whatever the case is. Another thing about living Ma'at is that a lot of times you are going to have to walk the path alone. Okay? But that's the thing about Ma'at. In the end, you'll always win. As I've stated before, thanks for your donations, and thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you got any questions, drop me a line. Other than that, that's Pooh fam. Peace.